1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Derek and Brandon, what's up? Let me adjust my volume here. I think it's a little low. Checkity check check. Checkity check check. Okay, I think that is loud enough. I think that'll be all right. Oh, Brandon. All right. Well, this should be fun tonight. Hopefully get everything here. Undo that. Undo that. Refresh this. How are you doing, Derek? So it's going to be fun tonight trying to figure out all what I need to do here. So there's a couple things that need to get done to hopefully get this finished tonight. And I'd really like to have this working now so I can get printing with it as a normal, because I'm trying to phase out all of my other non-me built printers, donating the next few here soon, I believe. Then I'm down to like just the core like 9 or 10. Which is kind of what I'm going for here, to have a little bit more space in the office. So tonight, there's a couple goals. So number one is, probably the primary one, is get this bed replaced. So I didn't realize that when I shipped it, because the box got like so absolutely destroyed, the bed got scratched by the other parts that were in there because I didn't put it in bubble wrap because I'm an idiot. But anyways, because I didn't do that, it got scratched and it bridged the connections in the bed. So only I believe the front and the right actually heat up at all. This entire back left corner doesn't heat up at all, which, is, horrible. And then I ordered the bed. So Brandon's asked where I ordered the bed from. I got the bed from AliExpress, which I've ordered all my beds from, because they're only like $50 compared to like the $90 or $100 from Prusa or from Printed Solid. So I ordered this one again. This one is a little bit different, because I don't think this one says, no, I think it's the same. Yeah, pretty sure they're the same. But anyways, this also took 3 months to get to me. I ordered this in October, I want to say, and it got here which was almost 4 months. I got this in February. So, or late January, early February, I think is when I got this. So it took like 3 months to get to me. It took forever. Excuse me there. So the bed obviously needs replaced. We can get that working. The next thing is the ribbon cable for the Pi display, for the Klipper screen, was too short and it's white, and that just doesn't look great. So I ordered a longer one in black. This is a 1 meter. I'm pretty sure this is long enough. But it's crazy. When they shipped it, it's actually in a piece of PVC pipe. So that's kind of funny. Let me see if I can get this cut open. But I wanted a black one because I didn't want a white cable underneath. I wanted this to kind of blend in a little bit better. And this is kind of like my nicest build I've done to date. It might as well look the part. So I have here a 1 meter black cable, which is more than long enough to make this work, because this one's, I think, only ½ meter or like 600 or 800 mil. Either way, not long enough. So we have to replace the bed, we have to replace ribbon cable, and then we need to add the cooling fans at the side electronics. So I ordered these off of DigiKey. So these are 40 by 10, 5 volt. Since I am using an NZ board in here, I just ordered a pack of 5 volt fans. I think there's 6 in here, 5 in here, 5 in here. Yeah, there's 5 in here. So I'm going to use 2, and then it gives me some spares to have, because why not? I didn't really have any spares of those. I still need to print another one of these covers for the fans. So I need to figure that out at some point. I think I need to redesign them, design something different than what this is. So if I don't have the file, I know Aaron does somewhere. Live and live. Yeah. So, I mean, I do apologize for the absence. It has been insanely busy for me lately. I have 3 of my kids are in scouting programs. So most weekends I am usually camping lately. So this weekend I'm not, and next week I'm not, but the next 2 weeks I am after that. So weekend content really gets hard to make between scout meetings, camping, outings with the family. I was in the UK for a week a few weeks ago, so that took time to prep out of that. And I was gone, come back. Um, so it has been like personally extremely busy lately. Um, but and as Brandon said earlier, I did create a Lego channel for some of the Lego content that me and the kids are doing. So usually in the evenings, like my floor is literally covered, like everything here. I'll show you guys later. Everything in my office floor is literally a Lego train set right now. So we're looking to rearrange the house to get kind of my office back because this is the one place where we could lay it all out and we didn't have to worry about the toddlers kind of like wrecking through it. So it is still currently a wreck right now. So hopefully we'll be able to rearrange the house a little bit to make a room, a playroom, an actual playroom where we can build a Lego table to move this all to my office and I can have my floor back because, yeah, I don't have much of it left. But I think that is enough jibber jabbering. Please, throughout the stream, ask any questions you have. I'm happy to answer them. I'll try to keep it zoomed in enough so you guys can see what exactly it is I'm working on and doing. But yeah, so first thing I'm going to prep this bed. We'll get the old bed off and then get the new one installed, fans, cabling, and go from there. Okay. Where was I in the UK? I was near London. So I was in London for a day, and then I was nearby. I had some meetings to attend, and since I had my last day, I didn't have any meetings, so I just decided to walk around London for the day, which was cool. I haven't been there in a couple years. So it was definitely nice to get back there. I ended up bringing back Krispy Kremes for the kids because, you know, when you go to a first world country, you buy Krispy Kremes for your kids. And they enjoyed it. And they weren't too stale. I love this case. If you guys don't remember this case, so it's one I found online, but then Aaron edited to put the kind of like transformery type of greeblies on there, which is just fantastic. Yeah, so this case is magnetic. This just kind of pops right on. It's really nice and easy to use. Bam, it's done. It'll be obviously held on because the wires will be there. So I'll need to figure out a wiring harness and where to actually hook up my fans into this. First things first, we got to take off this back clip. I mean, I'll say like this isn't the best case I've ever like used, but it's definitely I think one of my favorites that I've used for a 3D printer. And this also houses right here, this green. This is my Raspberry Pi 3, which obviously runs Klipper on it. And then down below it, down here, is a DC to DC converter, which takes me the 24 volt down to what's that one controlling? I think I actually have that for a fan, or that's not for this guy here. Oh yeah, it is for. Yeah, because I have that DC to DC powering the Raspberry Pi, because I'm not getting that off the board. I'm just hooked into the GPIO pins for controlling that way. Most of that's set up. I shouldn't have to do too much with it today. But I do need to update Klipper because I haven't updated Klipper on any of my machines in several months because Klipper has a pretty bad habit of sending out updates and then it breaks your system unless you kind of know what you're doing and can rebuild it from scratch. I've not wanted to do that on any of my printers as of late because I ain't got time for that. So I will update. I plan on updating this guy all the way, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Now this does have a different thermistor on it because I thought I broke the thermistor. I thought the thermistor was bad when I built this originally, and then I realized no, the bed is just scratched to all hell. Okay. So now that that's off, get this out of the way. And now we get to do the tedious process of removing the bed. I live in North Yorkshire. I've never been up there. We were in the UK, years ago, and we ended up going way down south, and we did the Polar Express train, which was pretty fun. We'd never done that before, but going to see Santa riding the Polar Express and all that jazz. My son is super into the movie, so that was kind of a part of our trip for him, was to do that. It was a crazy trip, crazy trip to get down there. It was in South Sodden. Is that where it was? I think Sodden. I don't know how you say it. Go to the UK and it's kind of hard to understand people. We speak the same language, but we don't. All right, so now the goal is to take this off and not knock off any of the spacers. That is the goal here. There we go. So, need to do two things now. Number one, this new bed did come with the Captain tape just to hold the magnet. Sorry, it's going to be loud. Oh, there we go. Just rip through it that way. Because that is one thing that is kind of bit of note. These do not have a ton of epoxy on them. But the epoxy kind of wears down eventually, and the batteries will just fall out. So they give you this tape to put over all of the, what side is it on? That's on that side. Oh geez, they're stuck together. So just go through and put this on each one of them. Doesn't need to be perfect, just needs to be on there to hold these on. Now, granted, I've seen people complain about actual Prusa's dropping magnets. I don't think I've had that happen. Did I have that happen once? I don't remember. I mean, I've got MK52 beds on nearly all of my printers now. I build them to this size because it's the most common size for prints. I used to think I need like the biggest printer out there, but I hardly ever print on the big printers anymore. I think the last time I printed on Ultra Magnus was my sister asked me to make a dice tower, so I made it on that. Well, it's not even the British accent. It's like just the words y'all use compared to what Americans use. It's just very different. So Andrew's being scared off of Klipper. So again, Klipper's amazing. Let me get it straight. Like I fought Klipper for a long time, and Ryan on the Discord badgered me for like a year to get on the Klipper train. And man, I went hard on it too. Like all of my custom printers run Klipper because it is a single interface that I can go to and manage all my printers. The firmware, again, it can be a little bit finicky to update from time to time, especially if Moonraker does something different than Klipper does and they don't coordinate properly, then yes, updates can get finicky, but if it ain't broke, don't update it. It is programmy, so I've said this before, but Klipper is the Linux of firmwares. You know, if Marlin is Windows, RepRap would be Apple, iOS, and then Klipper would be Linux. It does have a learning curve. It is fairly steep to some people, but there's other people that take to it pretty quickly. I feel like I took to it fairly quickly, but I definitely struggled in the beginning. But hey, it's how you learn. You discover something new, but it's definitely been my favorite. I mean, remembering back on how to use Marlin ends up being my trick now to try and remember how to do that. Kind of forget how many of these magnets are in these beds. What is it, like 30 or something like that? Oh, that's a little over half done now. Getting there. So Layman Land said to keep updated. I mean, again, I don't think it's necessary. Like, I haven't had the need to update any of my machines in the past, oh heck, 5, 6 months because they're not broken. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Klipper's also not like the end-all, be-all firmware like anything else. Like, it's definitely not. There's still no power resume, which, I mean, I've been talked about for a while, but it's still, as far as I'm aware, not a thing. Got like 10 more to go. I'm almost there. Sorry, this is taking a lot longer than I thought it was going to. I mean, yeah, Octoprint does work, you know, especially if you're running it on, as you said, a Creality machine, a machine that you don't want to change the manufacturer's firmware. Yeah, hook up Octoprint to it. I run Octoprint on my Mark III's for multiple reasons. Number one, I can get my time lapse out of it. Number two, the palette is hooked up to that, so when I do my multicolor printing, I only run it on the Mark III's. But I do lose my power resume function, and in a place where power is not great, losing a print several hours into it because I no longer have access to my power resume, it hurts. Like, it's pretty painful because if I wasn't using Octoprint, I could have just resumed that print again. Like, definitely hurts when that happens, and you know that if you would have printed that file a different way, you could have saved it and not wasted hours and material. It is Gunner, but if you have one printer, staying up to date with every update with Klipper, I think is fine. When you're running 10 machines with it, if it does end up being a crippling update where you have to rebuild Klipper for that machine, that is a humongous pain in the butt to do 10 times. It really is. And that has happened to me before. And that is why I don't look at the updates anymore. I used to be every day, man, every day. Check for update. I was updating it like crazy every day. But I stopped doing that after I had an update that I literally shouldn't have done because I could have just kept on going without it. So I'll wait for those who do stay on the cutting edge of it to let me know when some super awesome feature comes around, like time lapse or power resume or something like that. Then I will, by all means, jump back on it and do the update. Okay, all of those are now done. That took epically forever. Oh man, I don't know if I should do that right now or not. Don't really want to. So And what I'm debating is redoing, because these beds come soldered, and I don't like that. I don't know if I feel like desoldering it and redoing it. So Gunnar, I'm not the scripting guy. If Aaron, not Aaron, if Adam wants to write me a script to do that, you know what? I will use the ever-loving crap out of that script. But until he does that, I mean, I've got my people for different things. Adam is my software guy. Aaron is my designing guy. Like, I've got my people to help me out with various things. So I definitely know who to contact when I'm having a problem. 100%. I just don't know if I really feel like desoldering this bed right now. I mean, I probably should. It just takes time to do that. Takes time to do it. I'm going to save this. I don't think I'm going to do it tonight, just for the sake of, I want to get this up, running, and moving. I can always do it later. It's easy enough to do later, but I will definitely save the wire and everything to do so later. The LGX is a stupid expensive extruder. And again, I have a real problem with spending the amount of money on a single piece of hardware that I could build an entire printer with. Like, I have a real hard time justifying those costs because I think it's a bit asinine. Okay, so let us get the sheathing on. And if you guys can't see what I'm doing, just holler at me and I'll readjust the camera here. But I'm trying to keep it low enough you can see this, but you don't need to see my mug. I hate, at least this doesn't like kill your fingers like the plastic tubing does. Stuff just rips your fingers apart. Almost. Come on. Okay, I go back the other way. And voila. We have the sleeving on. Goes up to there. Give me some slack down here. First off, we do this guy. Snug. That goes around that way. This needs to go way in there. Okay. A little bit that side. A little bit that side. Do like that. Make sure not to pinch the thermistor because I've done that before and I've killed thermistors before. So I think I'm squared away on that. Okay. Now for the hard part. I missed. There we go. I think that's it. I need this one here. Okay. Okay. You, and then 1, 2, and 3. Fantastic. So we'll do the middle. Snug. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll go left, right, back, front. There we go. Okay, that's on. We can put that guy on. All right. Back to the side now. Okay. Need the snake. That in. Snake. That in. Underneath all that. Okay. Thermistor. Oh, crack. Which one is it? Oh, I forget. Is it the middle or is it the left one? I need to do the wiring. I need a wiring picture. There it is. It is. Heated bed is the left. That. And now we have positive on the left, negative on the right. Does it really matter? It shouldn't, but Phillips. Okay. Come on. There we go. Okay, so now those are in. Now I can put the back cover on. It's just another one of those pretty things. Makes the case look nice. Super unnecessary. But hey, so is laser etching your frame. I'm just going to go with that like that first. And then we'll do the pie. Like that. So I was saying we were working on the redesign of this case. We had to make this hole down here bigger to fit the big old USB cable, because like it sticks out of the case. It needs somewhere to go. Unless I was to totally strip it down, which I did not feel like doing. Okay. So that's all of those guys. So now also comes kind of the thing of, where do I hook up the fans? I haven't really figured that out yet. I know I need to hook them up, but I have literally no idea where to do that at. I don't know if there's another controller fan output on this board or not. I don't really remember. So NZ Rambo. Let's look for a pinout diagram. If anybody knows a controllable port on there, please let me know. Is this it here? I'll make it big. Please, come on. Control, scroll. Okay, so there is a 5-volt up top underneath the end stops. And the 2 fans are already used because that's the part cooling fan and the hot end fan. That's fine. Heaters. So I wonder if that 5-volt is controllable or not. Because I would love, again, to do like a kind of like the hot end fan is, where it only turns on at a certain point. I would like these fans only run when the printer is doing something, actually moving. Don't know if there's a port on here that can do that. By the way, hi Aaron, I see you there. Sorry. Didn't see you. I saw you comment, but I didn't acknowledge that. Sorry. Yeah, I don't really know where. I don't know where to do that at. So in the meantime, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get these wired up to a DuPont connector and kind of go from there. So I'm gonna move this back a smidge. I guess I can always just zoom out some. I'm already zoomed all the way out. So if I go like that, can I go any higher on this arm? This camera is kind of like at the max for the height, for the weight of this arm here. So this is really meant for like webcams and stuff. But hey, okay, so put that away now. Actually, before I go any further, I got to pull that back out because let's do the cable for the screen real quick. That should be fun. I also need to remember which way. I don't think it matters which way it goes, but this one should be the right combination, which means the pins are on one side and not the other. They're opposite of each other. If they're on the same side, it doesn't work with these screens. Where the heck is the? Oh my goodness. Ah, there we go. There you are. I know my big head's in the way, but there ain't no way in the world I'm able to show this while doing it. Okay, so that's like that. I need a flat head to try and push this in now. Okay, So now from there, we're gonna go like that, I guess. I might get something else to kind of clip that in, but it's really hard to. Yep. Can you focus on there? Let me make you brighter. You're as bright as you get. Let's see, where's my ISO? There we go. Like that. Clips are just a smidge too small for this cabling. I have to kind of like bend it just ever so much to get it in there. Oh my goodness, come on. There we go. Another one here. And then we go in. And this cable is far too long, but the next shortest one is way too short. So that'll just fold like that. There's enough gap in there. We can just pass this through here. And you go underneath that, please. Thank you. All right, I can do my final cable management here. Let's just go back out. That'll be fine. Now you're blown out. There we go. This is the 4.5? 4.3 inch, sorry. 4.3 inch DSI. So it only runs off the DSI cable, which is nice, where Ultra Magnus has a HDMI screen. So I have to have HDMI and power to it. So I have to have more cables and adapters, OTG cables, things like that. So we're going to do like that. And then, does this fit? No, you're at max there, aren't you? Oh, shnikes, there's a cable loose in there. I have another thing here, but I don't need it because nothing else reaches. I'll do one more on there, though. Do one more right here. Bed, can you please go back up? Thank you. I need some space here. Okay, now we need to clip these. Okay. So, looks like one of my motor cables came out, which is fine. I got to take this out anyways. Kira, oh no, man, you're in. Most of the folks, the main members of my Discord, let's say, I don't think there's any of them that actually use Kira anymore. I actually don't know what Brandon's poison is. I don't remember what he uses. I thought he used Prusa Slicer for everything, but I could be mistaken because I just honestly don't remember. Display goes into there now. Okay, so that's done. Figure out why this came out. You need to get back in there. Okay, you're in there now. And then I think the goal is going to be to run the cable this way. So if this goes back in, which under there, like that. I do like that. Then we can fold this up and I think get it up in this space up there. I think that'll work. Yes, I still have my FT5. It has been a goal to redo that machine, but my time allocation has not been there. I also don't know, did Eddie ever finish the conversion? Because he was going to update it for the Trident, but I don't know if Eddie ever did that. So there's Eddie the engineer. I'm pretty sure he's on the Volron design team, but he's in the Discord, and we've been talking for quite a long time about converting my FT5 into a Volron style machine, the FT. He was calling it the FTV at the time, to make it a, was it a 2.4? But I haven't printed on that since I moved. Honestly, I've not needed to print on it. Did I? Yeah, I don't think I did. I haven't used it since I moved. You know, so it's been like 9 months since I've actually printed on that machine. Do I need to zip tie this, or can I just get you to stay up out of the way? And that'll just go flat underneath. I think that'll be okay. I don't think I need to. Let's see, where's my case at? Oop, you need to get put back away though. Nope. Yeah, it doesn't even get in the way. Sweetness. Okay. Now that all cabling is done, let us take a few moments and get some fans ready. So let's clean up the workspace a little bit. Trident is a fixed gantry with a moving bed core XY. Yeah, again, it was my intention to do that this past fall, but just again, family plans, everything that they are, especially with all the, again, I've got 3 kids in 3 different scouting activities now, and I am the scoutmaster for one of them. It definitely takes up more time than I thought it was going to. Which happens, hey, not complaining about it. It's just a fact of life that personal has trumped my my YouTube and just general working. I mean, that last video I did of a project was the last thing I've printed, and that was what, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. I haven't really done much since then. I mean, and for the Lego channel, I mean, heck, we recorded everything that's coming out on the Lego channel for the next 2 months was recorded in like 3 days. Like the kids just wanted to build. So I just put the camera on and we just did it. So it was great that they wanted to be involved in that. All right, so we got 2 fans here. Now, how do I want to go about doing this? Do I want them pulling air or do I want them pushing air? What do you guys say? Positive air or negative air? What do we think? Does this fit in here? Oh, okay, this does fit these fans. I think I'd rather go for positive air inside than negative. Might just tack this in with a bit of hot glue, just so they don't move at all. Come on. Come on. Slide down a little bit more, like that. Then go over. Try this again. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's how that looks right there. So with the one fan without it, one fan with it. Doesn't interfere or anything like that. Not bad. So I think I'll just put both of these to a DuPont. I think I'll just do that. Cool. Let's do that. And then I wonder what the amperage is on that. So these are 0.16 amps. I don't know what that can do. The gauge on these, I would assume it's 24, maybe 26. I didn't really sign up for an eye test today. Holy Christ. And it's also fairly faded. Does it say on here? So it's 300 volt, 30 Celsius. I can't see that. Oh, I got my helping hand. Maybe this will help me see. I can't see on the black. Good gravy. This is like so lightly written. I think it's 24. I think. Kind of what it looks like. I am just not wanting to solder these at all. I do need to find my crimpers, which are all up here. Here they are. I shouldn't have to because these are really long and I don't need them to be as long. I might actually just take a little bit off of them because, I mean, having them connected there, I mean, I can set this on the bed right now. So I think I'm just going to take a little bit off because these are tinned at the end here. So I am just going to lop those and then we'll strip them down. One, two, three, and 4. There we go. So we're just gonna twist them both together. It actually makes it really easy to pin these. Oh wait, I need females, not males. So it's too long. So now we can get this guy. There we go. Here's one. Put this in the crimper first. And of course it fell out. There we go. I think that'll do. I need a 2-pin. And then I need to figure out the pin out of that. Let's see. See where it just says 5 volts. Doesn't tell me what the pin out of it is. I highly doubt we'll be able to see it in here. Of course, it just says 5 volt. I mean, yes, I can turn it on and check the terminals, but I'd rather just find it in a drawing. And out 5 volts. Nope, that doesn't tell me. Old NZ board. Okay, this one has a drawing on it. Oh, come on, where's that picture at? No, I don't want Reddit to show me crap I don't want to see. This diagram. I'm guessing the right looks like negative. Oh, here it is. Here's a pinout. Oh my God, this is tiny. Where is that 5 volt? Power input, voltage regulator, 5 volt out. Pin, yeah, bottom is negative, top is positive. Easy day. Okay. There we go. So now I just need to these guys in. Okay. And then positive in there. Come on. Okay. So I said the negatives on the bottom. Positive on the top. I guess we'll just have to wait and see if how that powers up. So let us get this guy back in out of the way. And then you guys can go up there like that. Like that. I think that's it. I do have this other piece that just needs to be glued on at some point. If I decide to use it, it's just kind of like the beauty piece for that. Not 100% sure that I like it, but yeah, let me glue this on real quick. So all it is this cover piece right here to cover up around the what's it called? It's the ports on the pie. Is this the good bottle? Yes, the good bottle. All right, so let's just do there, there, there. Hit that with some Insta-Set. And then right there. See if that even sets. I might need to use a thicker glue than this. This is the Bob Smith, the Insta Cure Plus. It's very thin. Works well for 90% of my applications, but this might not be one of them. That was not enough glue to hold this on. Try that out. Alrighty then. Wish I had a type of clamp. All my clamps are out in the garage now. I'm gonna bring them in here. Okay, that seems to be holding, so we're just gonna let that go now. I love having like all of my stuff here on the wall. It makes things so much faster. Like I can't tell you how much faster it is to access tools and things like that, man. Just throwing up a piece of pegboard just really makes the difference here. PTFE tape around the threads in my glue. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I've got this one. I mean, it is a bit crusty on the top, but I have two more here that are clogged. This one is a thicker one, and then I have another. This is a MaxiCure one, which, I mean, out of the gate, the tip of this was just boned, so there's nothing there. But the glue is still liquid inside. I think it is, isn't it? I think it is. It might be shot. I don't know anymore. That's how it was out of the box, and that's kind of the risk of things when you move around the world. Things don't always work out properly. All right, well, I think now's as good a time as any to power this bad boy up. But let me clean up first, and then we will have our new power on. So obviously this is powered on once before. So okay. don't want to knock over my container of DuPont connectors, so those go up out of the way. Clippers I put away. All right, now I need to get a power cable. So give me just 2 shakes to find one. I think I put them all away. Yep. Anyone that's not terribly long, please. This will do. That, and then I'll take that. And let's see what happens. It boots up. Woo-hoo! And we can see the Raspberry Pi booting. You can see all of that there. These fans are not turning yet, which is probably good. Again, I don't know how those are controlled, so let's wait and see what happens. Okay, the fans are all off now, which is good. Okay. Oh, boom, there we go. We're right to it. So if we do homing, and I do home all, let's see what happens here. Woohoo! It homes. Hot dog. So let me see if I can get to its screen now. Oh, these tabs. I was looking for that. So it's just go to Hound. See if I can grab it. Otherwise, we'll have to go to Teletron. There's Hound. We go to Teletron. Boom, there it is. All right, so, Aaron, do you remember what the update order was for Klipper? Because I honestly don't remember. I haven't updated in a while. Keep your glue in your refrigerator. That's interesting. That's I've never heard that before. So let me see if I can do I have a screen capture plus DSLR? Yep, there we go. So if I go here, now you guys can see needs updates. All the way down here at the bottom. So I think it's Moonraker, then Klipper, then Fluid, I think is what it is. Oh, don't update. All right, cool. We just won't update then. But here you can see these. I'm using Fluid. I use Fluid on all my machines. So you can see how this all goes. I've got the Pi already in here, so I can see the temperature of my Pi, which is really cool. I do wonder though, recently closed. I think it was this here. Yeah, here's the schematic. I don't think that J7. I don't know if that has a pin out to it. I think it's straight power. J7 1 and 2. These are the fans on there. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have a. So if it's not running now, it probably doesn't run at all then. That's what my guess is. Thermistors. Da 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 da. Yeah, because these don't have pins on them. That's a bummer. I might just need to run those off of my, let's call it then. Let's go back to this. I might just need to figure something out here. So if we go to my macros, there's no Z tilt with this, which is the one bummer here. So we'll see how this is. I'll probably need to measure and adjust my two Z rods. Whoop. Okay, see, I can't, the parameters are out of whack on that. Oh yeah, Aaron, yeah, we'll have to talk about that on a separate stream then. But right now, we're running into a bit of an issue. So if we go to configuration, edit printer.config, that and that. I'll lose my chat if I do it that way. What if I do it this way? Still lose my chat. Dang it. Do like that. There we go. I can get my chat back then. Where did it go? I want that. I want the screen capture plus that one. There we go. Okay. So, all right. My mesh max is what the problem is there. So 198 is too far, obviously. So let's take that down to like 150. And then save that. And then home all. Can't do this in just my laptop, sorry. I wanted to show you guys what I'm working on with this, but it is just way too hard to read chat and be able to see what in the world is going on. So just lowered my mesh a bit. Yeah, it still wants to go way over there. So we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to reboot it just to see if that fixes that part. Yeah, it's an NZ board. So my whole goal with this build was to do, let me try and adjust my camera a little bit. There we go. The whole goal with this was to do, so all of my printers are different. I'm 90% sure of that. Yeah, all my printers are completely different. So I do have an SKR bear, so it's using an SKR 1.3 that's running. That one's still running Marlin, actually. That's the only one I have that's still running Marlin. But that is a bear build using a SKR in that one. This bear build, I wanted to do a bear running Klipper using an NZ board because I had a spare because I thought mine was bad for when I did my when I did Fastlane. That was my DIY Mark III S that I did, oh God, a long time ago when I did that one. Then I have my actual Prusa. Then I have Megatron, which was my first DIY build that Aaron and I designed, mostly Aaron, which is mostly a bear, but using 2020. It's an SKR 1.3 running Klipper with a Raspberry Pi. Optimus Prime is a Bear Mara, so it's still using the 2020 frame, not 2040 like a bear is using. But it's using the Hermera hot end that I think Brandon bought for me. Yeah, Brandon bought that for me. So that's what that's running Klipper. And then Ultra Magnus is an SKR 1.3 with a Pi 0, but it's a huge printer. It's an A8 Plus that I've converted into Ultra Magnus, which Brandon has one, and I think Matt on the Discord has one, but it was designed mostly by Brandon and Aaron, are the two to design that one. So I think I'm gonna have to redo the whole mesh on this because I don't think that's right. It's also not something that I want to deal with right now. But what I will deal with right now is adjusting my X lead screws. So let's get out a caliper. Battery's still good in this one. Let's swap it out real quick. Oh, it seems okay. Zero that. Zero. So that's 32.38. You are that's spot on now. Cool. Wasn't off by much. This is home all again. Yeah, that battery's seen better days. All right, that's better. Still have one more left. The other thing about using the NZ is I've used different G code, which is pretty annoying. Yeah, it's a fantastic model, Aaron. I really like it. That was the one thing I thought I printed this. I think that's the one thing I forgot to print, which I could have swore I did. Let me double check over here where I had the printer. Leave it up there. I guess I didn't do it. I could have swore that was the other thing I needed to print was the reverse Bowden tube connection for the top here. I needed to do that because I already have the arm over here ready to go, and I've got my PTFE tube ready to go, but forgot to modify that. But I think right now it just comes down to getting the mesh all figured out because it's homing right now. Looks to be, I think it's a little far back, but I also need to just kind of jog it around. So the way to figure out your mesh is, I guess I can do it here real quick. So actions, we're going to do move, and we're going to go 10 mil. We're going to move to X to the right. So there. So that is 176. So I definitely think there is, reconnect please. I need to just figure out my mins and maxes for the mesh. And then once I figure that out, I'll be able to run the bed mesh leveling. So let's go here to my configuration. And again, if this is on my desktop, I could show you guys. I'm sorry, it's just too hard to show here. So I have the max set to, oh, this was 190. This is 240. This needs to be 170. That's what it needs to be. So now if I do save and restart, we can go to home. All right, let's home all. And then now if I do it, it should do better, I think. So now we'll do G80, which in the NZ is the mesh bed leveling. G29 is what it would be normally. Four, five. All right, I definitely think we can change it up a little bit. So we can get a little closer to the left, we can get a little closer to the right. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of walk it there now. Okay, so that is too far. The 190 back. Yeah. Yep, that's too far. So let's go back into the configuration. Edit that. And we're going to change a few parameters. Okay, so minimum on X, we're going to do that as 25. And we can go up to, let's go up to 190. But for the rear, we're going to do 180 and see how that goes. So save and restart. Home it. Because it's what NZ understands. I don't know why it is that way. I just know that it is. The NZ doesn't understand G29. Okay, we're pretty much as close as we can get now to the left and the right. We can go maybe like, I don't know, five or 7 more on the far side of X. And the goal is here is to cover as much of the bed as you can, edge to edge, to get the best bed leveling results. We're still hitting there. All right, so we'll go back and we'll edit that again. So configuration, printer.config, edit. Why are you running it again? I have no idea why it's running it again. But let's do 170 on that for the max, and then we can do, maybe we can do 200 on that one. It might be a little bit optimistic. Do 197. Yeah, you can hear that hitting the front bit. it's restarting. All right, let's try it again here. Well, also, Aaron, Klipper uses different G code when you're using a. Oh, that's pretty good right there. Probably could do 200, but it's okay. Klipper uses different G code when you run it on a. Oh, what's it called? A rep board. What is that? Totally just forgot the name of it because that's what's in the BLV. Duet. That's it. Duet. So it uses different G code even on duets. Ah, that's better. Ooh, and that's right where I want it to be, right on the inside of that. Oh, look at that. Goes with the build plate, which is what I want. Although I might have that go a little bit further back. Well, that's about as far back as it can go. It's about max right there. So that's good. Now, where can I? Oy vey. So I've got a 0.4 millimeter difference on this bed, which is 2 layer heights. So kind of see how that goes. It looks like to be more the left side here is a smidge lower than the right. So another way to kind of fix that is to just move this a hair of a turn up. Like that. Now I'll run it again and see if I get better results. Because again, I don't have Z tilt. So you really have to rely on the manual leveling of this. Or you can do what Prusa does and they just ram it all the way into the top to make it even itself out. I had talked about doing a script for that, but I just never done it. Because you do have to override some of the safeties in the firmware. What's that? Tunkay? Aloha. How you doing? Make sure my motors feel too warm. Was one issue I did have on what's called Megatron was the motor heat. Okay, so now I can go back here. We can go back to the tune and we're still X here is still low. It's almost by more. Oh, because I went up instead of going down because I'm an idiot. Let's try that now. I made it larger than tighter. I'm smart. Smarty, smart, smart, smart. So, and then just for kind of people's knowledge, so these black rods here, as you can see, all right, so you see those black rods here? These are LDO's first try at anodized aluminum rods. So I'm running straight up LM8UU bearings on the Z's, but on X I'm running IGES bearings, and on Y I'm running IGES bearings. I pointed that and you could not see it. Cool. But yeah, so X is IGES bearings and Y is IGES bearings. And the whole goal with me getting those, I got those from Taylor, the same guy that I bought I bought the frame, sent it to him, he etched it, I paid him for it, did not get that for free. But he did get these rails, but they were having lines in them, not indentations, but it was definitely wearing away the anodization where the bearings were. So I wanted to try it with the IGES, which he's never done before. And that's where I am today, and that is much better. We're still at a 0.4. So if I take this down, okay, take that down one more click, that should get it much closer. Now, yes, you could do the Nylock mod to get it exact, but that's what auto bed leveling is for, is to actually auto level your bed. I just try to get as close as possible I can mechanically, then I'll let the printer actually do the work that it's supposed to do. I've never really had a problem with it before, so yeah. Yeah, I mean, you see, I'm making changes to Klipper like that. It saves, restarts, and I go back at it. Like, that is one of the biggest things. Again, having so many printers. I mean, remember, I've got 10 custom machines here. Is it 10 now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 custom machines now. Okay, this is number 8. So I have 8 custom machines now. Doing all that compiling in Marlin is just mind-numbing, and keeping all those libraries up to date and everything like that. Klipper, it is so much easier to make changes and adjust it for my printers. When did I start out with printing and such? I started printing in 2016. I've been doing this for 6 years. Excuse me, 6 years now. Ooh, we're even closer now. But now it's not too bad. So now, go to Actions. Let's turn the motors off. So now it looks like my middle is a bit too high. So we're going to give those just an extra turn down, even though it shouldn't matter because of those spacers. Give an extra turn down on those guys. Okay, so now we'll go back. We'll do home all. And then we'll tell it to level again. So this is the non fun part about doing all of these. It's just little changes, a little bit at a time, just to get your printer that much more tuned in. But by doing this, once I have this done, I'll throw this on the shelf, and then I'm off printing forever. I mean, I spend the extra hour or two tuning the printer, and then I'm pretty much off to the races after that. What was my first printer? My first printer was the G-Tech i3 aluminum. That was my very first printer. I think it was like the second video I ever did was on that printer. And then my second printer was the FT5, which I think was the first video I ever did on my channel, was my FT5 overview, which is crazy to see how I've come these days. Okay, now let's take a look at and what I'm doing is I'm looking at the tune menu of this, and yeah, that's still a little high there. But again, it's nothing that is looking on X. Yeah, it's like all 4 corners are a bit low, and then my plus sign across the middle is high. So that's interesting. But again, auto bed living is what it's for. I don't think I'm going to print tonight because I do want to get this swapped out. I need to find my roll of atomic PETG. I think it's under my desk. I just need to re-dry it out in the hydrator overnight, and then I'll print that on the Mark III's because that is a hard nozzle in it. And that will give me this part here, which I think I need to design. I don't think I don't think I have one for that. So I'll just take that. I'll whip up a quick design. It'll only take a couple minutes. And yeah. The new bear extruder is going to be released tomorrow. Oh, very cool. A new bear extruder. I was not tracking that. But yeah, so I think that's Hound, guys. It's pretty tuned. Again, once I have this last piece printed, which again, I swear that I printed that. I'll have to look through my design files and see if it's still sitting in Fusion. And maybe I was going to print it and I just forgot about it. Or I did print it and it's somewhere here. Because did I? Let me see, do I still have a container for this build? Does not look like it. It's motors, 2020, LEDs, wires, GoPro, resin. Yeah, I don't see a bin for that down below anymore. And I don't have it here on my shelf of stuff that I usually put where I'm working on things. So yeah, I will design that, print it, and get going on this. And then, so probably the next stream I'll do with this is, since it's built, it's done, I'll just do another tuning stream. So I know that that's kind of the most complicated part of running a new printer, especially new firmware with Klipper. So I will do a stream where I will go ahead and tune the pressure advance and oh my goodness, I just forgot the other one. But either way, just tuning it in. I'll make sure that I get that all together. That's just all that does. That sees how fast we can get this to run. I wish I could. I don't know of a way I can do that. So I do have the accelerometer right here. And this is what you can use. So this little guy, this is an ADX, what is this? An ADXL 345. So little tiny guy. And what you do with this is you actually connect this to your extruder and then you run that test. So that's kind of like the 2022 version way of doing it, and the 2021, I guess this is old. Been doing this for a while. The way to do is manually. I've done it manual on all the other printers. I think it's come out just fine. But I'd have to figure out where exactly I can. Motor's off. I'd have to figure out exactly where I could mount that, because you're supposed to mount it, I think, as close to the nozzle as you can. So unless I mounted it like right here on like the fan, I'd have to see what it is then. It's geared by default now. Oh, okay. Input shaping. That's it, Derek. Thank you. Input shaper and pressure advance. Those are the two to figure out to get it printing the best. And I probably will, before I do that stream, I will do a quick just a Voron test cube that I usually use now, just to get a benchmark of where this prints at, and then we can work on those settings. That'll be in a couple weeks probably. Again, I've got some camping trips and things coming up here in the near term, so I will not have time on the weekend to do something like that. And because I'm so many hours ahead of the US right now, doing it during the week, most of you guys would still be at work. So I have to do these streams on the weekend just so it matches up better with the time difference. Which is a bummer, because I did like my last place. I was in South America, so I was only an hour ahead of Eastern time. So me streaming during the week was fine, because it was evening for me. It's just earlier evening for everybody else. So it worked out well. But here, being so many hours ahead of the US, it's kind of tough. Because right now it is, I mean, it's 10:30 at night here. So it makes it tough. And I think I'm like 9 or 10 hours ahead of Aaron, who's in California. Or not California. He's on the West Coast. But yeah. But yeah, I think this, I like it. I think it looks good. I think with the etching and all the blacked out parts that I could get, this is atomic PETG carbon fiber filament. So it's excellent filament. It prints beautifully. It really does, especially when you get your settings tuned in. My prints don't look as good as like Chris Wakaki, but they look amazing for my eye and my quality. I really do enjoy them. yeah, and I think the work that we did on redesigning some of these parts, like I did the screen by myself, a little bit props to myself. I had modified um, the case. Did I modify this one? No, I don't think I modified the PSU case. But then I had Aaron help me modify the NZ case, which was great. But there's a little bit of me in here. There's a little bit of Aaron here again because he is my go-to when it comes to designing. I did the reverse Bowden arm. I'll do the reverse Bowden coupler there as well. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think the last thing to test you before I go, I'm just gonna make sure everything heats up properly. So let's just go here and let's do presets and let's preheat to PLA and just make sure that we heat up properly. Extruder is getting up there. It's gonna home while it's doing that. I just want to pick my nozzle up off the bed just because I feel better with that. 10. And I will need to do, I also need to do the PID tuning. I've not PID tuned this at all yet. So I definitely also need to do PID tuning, which is quick and easy to do, but because I can see the bed is a little slow to heat up. But it is heating up all over, which is good. You know, we've got our LED indicator there, and then I can feel the nozzle. That's heating up at a pretty good rate, but the bed's a little slow. So PID tuning will definitely get that to be a little bit quicker. It is 24 volts, but it's all it needs to be. Again, I don't do mains for any of my printers. You can definitely smell that new extruder, new heated bed smell. Let's just check where we at here now. All right, we've already hit temperature on the nozzle, and then the bed is at 53. It's only going up to 60. So yeah, definitely it's a little bit slow, but I am glad to feel heat, man, all over the bed, which is great. And this bed, this is Alti-Stick. I've only used this, I think I've printed on like once or twice. Kind of reserved it for this one here. I would love to get a Stout, or a blacked out one. I'll probably get another one of the FiSec sheets. They're pretty good. I have one on one's on Megatron, which I only use on that printer pretty much. Sometimes I switch to the regular PEI, but I've been using that mainly on my actual Mark III's. But I use texture on most of the other ones. This one is a very subtle texturing, so I'm interested to see how some lengthy prints. Again, I think I've used this before on Optimus, but I can't really remember how it went. I really don't remember. So hey, it heats up, nothing blows up. I have no idea how to get these going, and this fan right here is not turning on. Why is that not turning on? That's the wrong one. So that's another thing to figure out. The part cooling, the hot end fan is not turning on. Cool. I don't understand why that's not doing that. We'll add that to the to-do list. So for right now, let us just turn all that off. That's probably an issue in my configuration. So I'll double check because it is the NZ board. It's still basically the same config as what's on Fastlane, which is my Mark III's clone. So I can just go to that, double check the pin, because I'm guessing I screwed up the pin on that. Yes. Where's my fan settings at on this one? So the heater fan is pH 5, but it's not turning on. Okay, yeah, again, that's something else that I will address another time. I'm not going to try to dig through that right now. But other than that, yes, we're 98% of the way there. We're super close to being done with this. That was everything I wanted to do tonight. So I'm glad that it powers on, it doesn't break. We'll figure out the fan situation soon. So I would expect, if not next weekend, it'll probably be 3 weeks when I'm back on with this. If I get time this week, I'll definitely try to get on next week because I don't think I'm camping next weekend. So I'll try to get on with this again and get this finished up because I've been waiting a long time for the parts and I've been waiting a long time to make time to get to this. And I want to get on it while I'm on a roll. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you found this entertaining, interesting. A few of you that have joined in. Klipper is not as daunting as you think it is. It is in the beginning, and you can build cool printers like this. You know, again, this is mostly a Bear, a little bit of custom parts here and there, but it's a custom Bear running Klipper, which is very cool. So thank you guys for joining in. Remember, if you want to support the channel, there's lots of ways to do that down below in the description. You know where they are, what they are. I thank you everybody for tuning in and watching. So until the next stream, I'll see you guys next time.